You meet Dean Winchester at the worst possible moment of your life. Your sister disappears from a motel room in Nebraska. No signs of forced entry. No ransom note. Just an open window. A sulfur smell the cops can't explain. And a case that goes cold in 3 weeks. Everyone tells you to move on. You can't. You start digging into things the internet warns you not to search. Demonic omens. Hex bags. Possession signs. You tell yourself it's grief. Then you find a pattern. 7 girls missing across 4 states. Same sulfur, same dead ends, same silence. You track the pattern to a bar outside Wichita, where a man in a leather jacket is asking the same questions you are. He's got a jaw that looks carved for trouble, and eyes that have seen things most people pray they never will. His name is Dean Winchester. He doesn't believe you're a hunter. You don't believe in demons yet. By morning, you believe in everything. The first hunt together is ugly. You're useless with a shotgun. You freeze when the demon shows its real face behind your sister's eyes. Dean handles it anyway. Rock salt, devil's trap, exorcism from a tape recorder because he knows you can't speak Latin under pressure. Your sister survives. The demon doesn't. You throw up behind the motel for 20 minutes while Dean waits in the Impala. Engine running. Radio playing something older than your parents. He offers you a ride to the nearest bus station. You ask him to teach you instead. He says no, then he says yes. Then he says if you die, it's not his fault. That's how partnership starts in this world. Not with a handshake, with a warning. The first year is survival training disguised as monster hunting. Dean teaches you how to read obituaries for patterns, how to spot werewolf kills versus vampire kills, how to forge FBI badges, hustle pool for gas money, and sleep with one eye open in motel rooms that smell like cigarettes and regret. He teaches you that silver works on shapeshifters, iron works on ghosts, and lying works on everyone, except the things that want you dead. You learn his rules fast. Never separate during a hunt. Never trust anything that bleeds black. Never mention his brother Sam unless he brings it up first. And never, under any circumstances, touch the car radio without permission. The Impala becomes your home. Cracked leather seats, trunk full of weapons, cassette tapes from a decade before you were born. Dean talks to that car like it's family. Maybe because it's the only family he has left sometimes. You stop asking about Sam after the 3rd time Dean changes the subject with a look that could curdle milk. Hunts start blending together. A vengeful spirit in Colorado, a Wendigo in Minnesota, a nest of vampires in Louisiana that nearly takes your head off before Dean puts a machete through 3 of them like he's cutting weeds. You get better, faster, harder. The nightmares don't stop, but you learn to function on 4 hours of sleep and enough coffee to kill a smaller mammal. Dean never says he's proud of you. He shows it in smaller ways. Lets you drive the Impala once. Shares the last slice of pie. Stops checking your salt lines every night. Because he trusts you to do it right. In Dean Winchester's world, trust is the only currency that matters. Then Sam comes back. You don't know the full story. Something about a demon deal, something about hell, something about destiny and angels, and a war that's been brewing since before humans learned to write. Sam is taller than you expected. Quieter. Smarter in a way that makes you feel like you're solving checkers, while he's playing chess. He looks at Dean like he's trying to memorize every detail. In case one of them disappears again, for a while, you're the 3rd wheel on a 2-man apocalypse. The brothers have a rhythm built on blood and years. You have 6 months of training and a dead sister you still dream about. But they don't cut you loose. Dean vouches for you. Says you're solid. Says you don't flinch anymore. That's the highest compliment he knows how to give. The jobs get darker. Angels are real. And they're not what Sunday school promised. Demons walk in board meetings and police stations. The apocalypse isn't a metaphor, it's a schedule. You stop sleeping. Start drinking. Learn that hunters don't retire. They just stop coming back from hunts. You save Dean's life for the first time in a warehouse outside Detroit. Demon gets the drop on him while he's reloading. You put a knife through its throat before it can finish the job. Dean looks at you different after that. Not like a student, like a partner. The cost comes later. It always does. A hunt goes wrong in Oregon. You take a curse meant for Dean because you're 2 steps closer to the witch when she starts chanting. The doctors can't explain why your heart stops for 3 minutes. Dean can. He sits beside your hospital bed for 6 hours, not talking, just waiting. When you wake up, he hands you a beer and says, "Don't do that again." You do it again, twice more. because that's what partners do in this life. You trade pieces of yourself to keep each other breathing. Sam notices the toll before Dean does. Hunters burn out fast. The ones who survive longest are the ones who find something to live for beyond the next kill. You don't have that yet. Your sister is avenged. Your family thinks you're dead. Your future is a series of motel rooms and monsters, until something finally gets lucky. Dean offers you an out. Once. In a diner parking lot at 3 in the morning, he says you could walk away. Build something normal. Forget this world exists. You laugh because the idea is absurd. Normal died the night your sister disappeared. The only thing left is the hunt. The only family left is him. He nods like he expected that answer. Then he orders more coffee and starts talking about a case in Montana. 5 years pass like bullets. You lose count of the monsters you've killed. Lose count of the times you've stitched each other up in motel bathrooms with whiskey as anesthetic. The scars on your body tell a story no one will ever read. The scars inside tell a longer one. Dean never changes. Still sarcastic, still reckless, still carrying guilt like a second skeleton. But he laughs more when you're around. Sleeps better when someone's watching his back. You realize somewhere along the way that you stopped being his student and started being his equal. The last hunt is the same as the first. Demon, missing girl. Sulfur smell in a cheap motel room. You're older now. Slower, but you know the steps by heart. Salt, trap, exorcism. This time you don't freeze. This time, you speak the Latin yourself while Dean holds the demon down and the girl runs free. Afterward, you sit on the hood of the Impala, watching the sun come up over nothing in particular. Dean hands you a beer. You don't say anything. Neither does he. That's the thing about hunting with Dean Winchester. Words run out fast. What's left is silence, trust, and the road stretching out toward the next nightmare. You used to want revenge. Now you just want one more day.